No, this is my I have a library inside. My apartment's like right over here.
The lobby? Nice. I was like, whoa, you really have made it. Okay. Oh wait, go back where it's like a gold background on the other side. I like before where you were before. You keep
All
the
right, with
with the
Clark Gable and
yeah, because that's my last name. So that works with the green. We're such actor producers. We're like, this is so funny. Okay.
I know.
No, we're like, gotta get the shot right. All right. No, you look good there. That works. I love the background. And then yeah, just come forward so we can see you. And then that's fine. You look great. Okay. Hi, Willie Macc. Welcome to the
Hey,
Attention Harlot Podcast.
how you doing?
Good to meet you. I don't think we've ever have we ever met in person? I don't think we've done a show together.
No, we haven't. Not yet.
Not yet, exactly. I know you book a lot of shows just like me. So I was like, who's this guy? Because I see your name. Like I'm addicted to social media and being a producer too. I'm always scoping out talent and like people who I want to work with and stuff like that. And I didn't know, and looking in your background, you've been an actor like a really long time. You were on College Hill on BET back in 2007, right?
Ooh, a long time ago.
That was a
Yeah.
while ago. I've been acting a long time too, like really. So did you start as an actor too before stand up or
I started acting first and then I got into stand up. But I got into it's one of those things where if you look back at like your entire life, like you've always seen signs of stand up and comedy or something like that. But because I was raised like not like I was a preacher's kid,
oh wow.
and it's the Midwest, very conservative family. So they was always like, "Stop acting so silly. Why you so goofy? Sit
Oh
down."
wow. Yeah. You and I have a lot of similar stuff, like stuff. That's so interesting. I never thought of, but that is true. If you grow up in a certain, I grew up with like military government parents. Okay, so they
Mm,
were very strict. It was the same thing, religious. So that's really interesting. Yeah. So you always kind of had a comedic thing going on,
yeah.
basically, and started acting, and then you got your family shot. I didn't know you guys did a whole show on HGTV, My Flippin' Family, which I love that title. That's so funny.
I hated it at first because it sounded like I was flipping my family. I was like,
Right. It has double meaning.
it
Yeah.
has double meanings. And I remember talking to the production company about that. I was like, really? It went from well, it started off uh flipping it to the max, MACCS, which is our last name. So flipping it to the
Okay.
max. Then it was like, and there's not really a lot of HGTV shows that have their names in it. And so then it kind of dwindled down to my flipping family. But yeah, so the money that I made in like commercials and stuff, I took home to St. Louis. And my brother is really his idea. He was like, "What are you
Mm.
doing with the money that you made in stand up and the commercials and stuff?" I'm like, "Oh, I got it stacked up in the bank." He's like, "You're so stupid." I
That's
said,
so sweet. You have a brother. Yeah, that said that. I mean, that's it's I'm always trying to get better too, like financially. But I've always been an advocate, like fan of having multiple streams, right? Because I think that's so important. And now we're seeing how like the entertainment, nobody's making any money. You know what I mean? They're all coming out and like everyone's broke.
"Ugh."
People are telling me I should do an in-person podcast, but someone that's like a famous podcaster is in debt. Like they're, you know what I mean? Like
it's
doing that. You know, things are bad when the Breaking Bad guys like, look, I'm getting residuals on Breaking Bad for like 6 cents. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's really
so
it's like,
good
oh,
on
it's
you.
hopeless for us all then.
Good on you for doing like a real estate and a show with it too, and like combining that. So that's really neat. Yeah. So
Yeah.
tell me about the pitching process with that. Like, how did that whole thing happen?
Well, it's a very interesting story. It's sad but exciting, but sad at the same time. So this was during a time where it was a lot of Black Lives Matter rallies,
I was gonna
and
say this is around 2020. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
this was like 2020, and there was a hashtag that was been going around for a couple of years that said it was hashtag HGTV so white. That's what it was.
Oh,
They
wow.
were like,
Okay.
where are all the people of color on HGTV? Like,
Right. True. Yeah.
people was kind of like, man, give us a chance, give us a chance. And so a I was editing at a production company. I was editing, I was a reality TV show editor. That was my
Okay.
day job.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And I heard them talking about this. And I told them, like, oh, me and my brothers flip homes in St. Louis. They're like, but Willie, nobody want to see you flip homes on TV, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, we really do this. Y'all looking for it. And here we are.
Yeah.
They never took me serious. I was a comedian, I was
Right.
editing.
Oh,
And so I said, you know what? I'm gonna go home. So I went home and I shot myself. I said, John, the next couple properties that we get, I'm just going to film it and we just gonna have some, and I'm just gonna edit it together. I'm gonna set it up as a pitch. So I edited it up as a sizzle. And for those watching that don't know what a sizzle is, it is a mini episode, a very mini episode. It's like a 5 minute presentation of what that is.
I shot just real quick. I shot a web series and I pitched it to Quibi, and that was remember Quibi? That was super
Yeah.
short, around 2020. And like I knew with the name like Quibi though, it was going under. Like and so it didn't happen. But anyway, I digress. Yeah. So, but good on you. You did a concept. Yeah. So you just shot it yourself, and then and you know how to edit, which is great. Which I taught myself how to edit. Same deal. Yeah. So
And so I shared it with them and they loved it. But they was like, we're gonna pass. We're not gonna do this. They was busy making fun of me. So I decided to put it up on YouTube.
that's
And,
awesome. Yeah.
and on YouTube, and then all of a sudden production companies started reaching out to me.
Nice.
We were pitched to HGTV and we shot the proof of concept, shot the pilot, and that's when they was like, all right, cool. So, but they said they're gonna give us more episodes based on our time slot. Now, our time slot was Wednesday at 8 a.m. Who is
Mm.
watching HGTV?
Yeah, who's watching? That's an awful time slot. Yeah.
And so, because our numbers wasn't great, they ended up canceling the show.
Oh no.
That's you know where the industry we're in. Just to even get even
Yeah.
like
I mean,
that's
it's
something that's
something,
on the internet now. And it's something that I can have for the rest of my
right,
life is that I sold and it was my show. I wasn't on somebody else's show.
right.
It was me and my brother's show, my family show. So that's always exciting, especially as when they always ask you, like, what do you want us to say about you bringing you up on stage? We're always like, I don't know. Half these folks ain't seen half the stuff that I'm in, and some of it ain't even worth saying out loud. And so, but for me to use the credit of he sold his show to HGTV
That's
is
a
a
big
credit that
deal.
I
Yeah.
will always have. And as you would can only imagine, when they hear that and when they see me, it's always like oh, he sold a show to HGTV. Interesting. And so I will start my set
I I have
based
a real
on that.
estate background. I was a realtor. So I saw a lot being a realtor. And I was on Million Dollar Listing as a realtor. I was barely in it too, but yeah,
Eh,
yeah, yeah. So I know that world. And I think I love that like yeah, like I'm a big fan of renting out rooms. Look, like like subletting my apartment. I love it. I love buying properties and renting out rooms. That's my thing. I don't flip really, but that's I like renting out rooms. But yeah, or
what
having
do you
roommates.
do?
What's that?
What area are you doing it here in
I
LA?
was a realtor. I stopped doing the real I'm not a realtor anymore, but I was a realtor in LA and like I found my own property. I like I still love looking for properties and just like on short sale, and that's a whole nother I need to put that bit into my next special because that's a whole nother. But yeah. So I'm yeah, I mean that's super awesome that you did that. And yeah, you have a Starbucks bit in your stand up. I was watching, which I love, and like I yeah, I write a lot in coffee shops. So I love that Starbucks gives you like free Wi-Fi. And because I can't really write anywhere else, you know. But you have like a Starbucks bit you do, which is great. That you mess with there. Sometimes I give them a fake name too, just to mess, because it is fun. It's fun to do that. I don't know why, but it is, right?
It's very fun. Anytime they like what, like when you send in a reservation or whatever it is, and it's like, what? It's this. And
Yeah,
then
I'm like,
I found
it's
out,
Crystal. Like, I'll just make up names. Like, my name's Crystal today. I don't know.
yeah, you
Um,
can say whatever. And so when I found out Nate Goose means kings, I said, hilarious. Let me tell them that my name is Nate Goose and see what happens. And then this person heard Nate Goose, but these people down
I
here,
want to start doing funny names now because I don't do funny names. I'm gonna start doing like silly names just to met. Yeah, that would be great. That would be great.
Cinderella,
Yeah, like,
the queen, the
there
queen.
we go. So what are some tips? So I loved, like I said, I love decorating. Too, like I'm a fan, like being an artist, I love decorating. And what were some tips for flipping houses that you have to decorate? I know people are doing wallpaper now is like a thing. Any tips that you have?
Open
Um,
concept is really huge. People love a good open concept that makes it seem spacier. Big windows, a
right,
lot
that's
of
big
natural,
now. Yes. And I
lot of
think it's like
natural.
taking nature. I also see, which I want to put more plants in my place. Like we see a lot of houses that are out like half outside,
Yeah.
like you just said. So yeah, that's interesting. People want to bring nature, I think, more inside. Yeah.
Um, One thing that people need to understand, especially when it's a lot of do-it-yourself, if you depending on how much renovations and stuff that you're doing, shop around with contractors, do a little studying yourself because they're trying to nickel and dime you most
There's
of
a
the
lot of lawsuits with that, right? Yeah.
always some losses. The amount of money that we've had tricked out of us or promises that weren't kept and we had to go to another it
Wow.
fascinates me how any some of these folks are still even around, the amount that
Right.
they might have screwed people over. And just have extra money
Mm,
because people like, all right, I budgeted 5,000, have an extra 2,000 just in case. Like there's been times where we opened up walls and we've had an inspector come through and they're like, all right, now you have to rewire the whole entire house. We're like, what? They're like, yes, since you opened up the walls and the wire is exposed, now we know that this house was built before 1965 and some, at least in St. Louis, if a house is built before like 1965,
mm,
and the wall and the wiring is exposed, you have to change out the wiring because that wiring from then is not
right.
is not doesn't
It'll like catch fire. It's not with asbestos. There's a lot going on. There's a lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it costs us an extra like $6,000. Then sometimes the sewage was acting up, and so we had to change out septic tanks. So you will budget for this, but then hopefully, I mean, your stuff stays under budget or at budget, but always have that extra for the just in
Yeah,
case.
it's expensive owning a water heater. It can get, no, that's a real thing. Yeah. So I think I mean, I'm part Jewish, so I'm always looking for a deal. Like I buy the little knobs for $1 that are like super fancy looking. So I think there's all these things you can do to make it look,
Mhm.
nicer with like trim and stuff like that. So well, yeah, that's so cool that you do that. And I want to catch your show. Do you have, so are you doing shows now? Are you touring? Are you going to shoot your own special? I just shot my own special and I'm going to shoot another one. Yeah. And I'm actually, production companies have come to me now. And so I'm talking to one about maybe they're going to help me do the next one. So yeah, I think that's neat. Same thing. I put it on YouTube and here I have I'm talking to two production companies, right? So it's like,
YouTube is powerful.
it is, right? Yes.
And I paid for a promotion on mine so that it could get pushed
Hmm.
out even
Oh
more.
yeah. Everyone's
So
doing that too. Yeah, I know.
I know.
You know,
It's
it's
one
good you're
thing to
honest
buy
about that
fake
because
followers and fake views, but to push it out because this algorithm thing don't make
everyone's
sense.
doing it. Celebrities, I look, their comments are half fake. I mean, it's like, come on, everybody's doing it. And they're getting honest. At least people are getting honest about what's really going on. But yeah.
So the way that I look at it, because like, how is it that I have 100,000 followers, but then only 10,000 views? It's like, how are not all my people watching this? So
I
you
don't think the numbers are accurate. In fact, I know they're not. I had a thing happen where I did a joke on Twitter. That's a whole nother, and I went super viral, and then my views went down, and I'm like, what? Like I had like 40,000. So someone does. I don't know how or why, or it's just the algorithm's off. It's very weird, but yeah,
this is the game now, though.
right, right. It's interesting for sure. So are you what do you have next going on? Are you
So I'm doing a
You
few
have you have
comedy
big dreams
specials.
like me, and I love it. You have big dreams, so I think
Oh, I
that's
have
good.
big
I
dreams.
love it. I do too. People think I'm crazy, and I'm like, maybe I am. Maybe you have to be, you know? It's like
They said people don't think your dreams are crazy. You ain't dreaming big enough. If your dreams sound doable, you ain't dreaming big enough. I used
nice.
to have this idea that I want to make $20,000 a month. I'm like, once I get to 20,000, if I can make $20,000 a month, woo, yeah, I'll be good. And then just it was only like a couple of years it happened. I'm like, okay, I'm making $20,000 a month with commercials and stuff. And I'm like, that's really not as much as I thought it
It's
was
not a lot,
going
is
to.
it? 10 grand goes, no, I mean it's kind of yeah.
And so now I'm like, I wasn't dreaming big enough. Maybe I need to say I want my mortgage to be $20,000 a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even that's not big enough. I was in where was I? I think I was in Malibu a few like couple weeks ago. And and I like getting these little magazines and just looking at them, just looking at these homes that
Oh, I saw, man, I was in an $8 million when I was a realtor. I saw this, my God, the sickest home, like in Malibu. They're gorgeous. They're so, yeah, it's like, oh my God, to
and
tour
this
in them.
particular house was being rented, not even bought, rented for $260,000 a month. And I was like, is that am I the only one that think that's crazy?
It's crazy money, right? It's interesting too. I've seen celebrities at that level. Some of them still look depressed, which is interesting to me. I was like, why are they look what I don't know. I think it's, I mean, there is something to be said. Money does equal happiness, but it is not everything, right? There's also other things.
Yeah, there
But
was a comic that said, I understand money don't buy happiness, but I'd rather be sad in a Bugatti than sad on this bus.
It's true. No, I mean, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, congrats on your success. Hope